So we ask ourselves, let's ask a few questions. Does anyone know where this spill is? Somebody tell me where the spill is. Right, 60 miles off the coast, okay? Does anyone know how deep it is?
5,000.
Right, and how much farther down is that? I mean, how much farther does it go into the ground? 5,000 is in the ocean.
A few miles, isn't it?
8,000 more feet. This well is 13,000 feet below sea level.
Oh.
5,000 feet of water, 8,000 feet of ground.
Wow.
Okay, so we're down there deep, okay, poking around. Another question: how many deep water wells are there, or how many deep water rigs are out there that they just put a ban on? That they said these guys can't do any more work. Yeah, 33 out there. 33, and this is what they move, and they go. There's hundreds of wells, and they go and they tap into these different wells and suck oil and gas out. How much of our oil for the United States comes from the Gulf? 25%.
Wow.
25% of U.S. oil comes out of the Gulf. In 1969, there was a big spill at one of these rigs in California. 1969, Unicol, right outside Santa Barbara, 3 million gallon spill. At that moment, the federal government banned offshore drilling in California and Florida. The ban still exists. There's no offshore drilling anywhere on the coast of California or on the coast of Florida. Texas and Louisiana didn't get the ban. So there you go. So that's how that works. Yeah, isn't that something? So I mean, there's all these things that have taken place about this thing. So let's talk about this contingency plan. Let me see, where is that there? So I'll pass around a few of these things that talk about. Here was a good one. I just happened to miss it. So what should we do about the owners when they destroy the environment? Here he goes. I've got a solution. We can put you all in jail, and you can sit there until you figure it out. Said City Councilman. I thought that was, it starts to sound like the truth, don't you think? Let's put them all in jail. Maybe they can figure it out when they're in there.
Or we could shoot a few of them. They'll get the rest of them moving.
Here's a picture of them burning. This is a controlled burn. I'll pass that around.
On an oil well?
That's one of the things. You know, that's actually on the water. They're burning the oil off the water.
You mean when they just did it a while back?
Yeah, this is that.
They're doing it right now.
You can pass that one around.
That doesn't create more waste.
Probably.
Well, here's the real symbol of this.
Who cares?
There's the pelican, right?
Oh, yeah.
Soaked in oil.
So Fred,
Yes.
now, when you're
I'm listening.
talking about discharges from, don't count as pollution. So now that they're burning this oil, attempting to burn some of it,
Right.
of course, that's putting different chemicals and pollutants into the air.
Mm-hmm.
But this doesn't count. Does that apply in this situation where they're not considering the damage that this does, and that they're not responsible for it? Like,
You mean the burning part? They're going to be responsible for, if somebody could prove that when they burned the oil, the stuff ended up in their house or something, you might get something. But yeah, the rules are different when you're trying to deal with a spill.
okay.
I mean, they have to handle this stuff, but yeah, they're trying to deal with a spill. So they have this contingency plan. Okay, and again, here's the New York Times reporting. From the very beginning, the effort has been bedeviled, okay, an outside force, by a lack of preparation, organization, and urgency and clear lines of authority. But of course, that's what the plan was supposed to spell out, right? What we understand, how the different organizations work together. Every company has the same plan, okay? They all got the same plan. All BP, everybody's got the same plan. So they go out there, and let's talk about how they think about this plan. They go out there, and here's what they say. I'm sorry. Got it? Thank you. This here. They included in their plan for a release much worse than what we're seeing. Their plan was supposed to include a release of 240,000 barrels a day, which this thing is nowhere near that, into the Gulf for 100 days. And yet they had nothing particular. They're doing that plan had 1/10 the resources mobilized as they're mobilizing now. So, again, what does that mean? There is no serious thinking going on here about what to do if we're going to poke a hole in the earth 13,000 feet down and something goes wrong. Okay? They really don't know what they're doing. And that's not to say, I was an engineer. I know what those BP guys are going through. It's business. I mean, they have an idea. I mean, those are good engineers. These aren't fools. These are people who know what they're doing. But what they're asked to do is wrong. That's the problem. We shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be doing this out there experimenting like Tony Howard. We don't know what we're doing out here. So that's really from an engineering point of view, at just a minimal level, good engineers, bad policy. Bad policy from the government, bad policy from corporations. These guys can do a good job if this is what we want them to do, right? Poke holes in the planet and see what squirts out. But you know, this whole thing, these are like I said, I worked on these things. I know what kind of assumptions they're making. They've got another thing. Well, how we're going to deal with the oil? We're going to put chemicals in there. This is what the industry's been arguing for. Why? Because it's cheaper than the other solution. What's the other solution? Going out there and pulling it all in, which of course is very expensive.